In self-determination, we
Yes.
talk about building social competence through use of social capital.
Right.
And how do the Next Chapter book clubs contribute to building links within the community?
Well, we're always impressed with a couple of things. One is how receptive the bookstores and cafes and coffee shops have been. When we want to start a book club, we go and find a facility, and we go in and we generally recommend talking with the manager and saying that we'd like to have a book club here on a weekly basis, and people will probably buy some drinks and we'll meet and hang out, and the reception has been amazing. I mean, as I say, we have probably close to 180 book clubs, and I can't recall, other than maybe one or two instances, where people have said, we're not sure. Not only have they not been oppositional, they've been incredibly receptive. So in the sense of being socially available, the bookstores and coffee shops and cafes are where people go. That's where everybody kind of hangs out. Mm-hmm. So it's a social environment that is part of our society right now. Mm-hmm. And that's why we don't hang out in libraries, because although some libraries now increasingly have cafes in them and are becoming more of a social gathering place, but for the most part, we don't want to be behind a closed door. Mm-hmm. So from the standpoint of social capital, we meet right smack dab in the middle of the bookstore or cafe. Mm-hmm. We're not rowdy, but we don't whisper either. Mm-hmm. So it's a whole idea about being where everybody, like Cheers, where everybody goes, yes, where everybody knows your name. So our people get to know the people in the bookstore, because the people that work in the bookstore know them, they know their drink. It's just like a bar. You go into a bar, they know you, if you go there pretty regularly, like every week or every day, they know what you drink. Mm-hmm. So that happens with the book clubs. The people that work there, even sometimes when it's very busy in one of these spots, they'll even take it on their own to put a reserve sign on the table, or a series of tables that we meet at. So the whole idea is to be in the community and to be part of what people do. And there are people, for instance, in one of our more rural communities, there's a state policeman that comes into the coffee shop where the group meets every week at the same time, because they meet when he takes his break. Mm-hmm. So he knows them, and he always stops by after on his way out to say hello. He doesn't interrupt because they're reading, but he makes sure they know that that he loves seeing them, and many people just love it. We don't have a sign up saying Next Chapter Book Club. We don't. Sometimes people wear we have some T-shirts. Sometimes they wear that, but for the most part, we don't. We don't do a lot of pomp and circumstance. We're just there. We're reading, having a good time, and hanging out, and talking, and writing, and doing things that people do. Sometimes our book clubs write poetry in the summer. Sometimes they write a thank you note to somebody, or they write a get well card to somebody, or whatever. Mm-hmm. So it's all about being belonging to a club, but a club that has a purpose, and a club that where you learn. And the beauty of also, I think, of the clubs is that it allows people to express their ideas, their feelings, and their opinions. Mm-hmm. And so seldom do people with intellectual disabilities have an opportunity to express their ideas, their feelings, and their opinions freely and unconditionally. And so you might go to one book club and it might be kind of quiet, or another book club might be sort of uproarious, and so there are some drawbacks to meeting in a social setting, in that the coffee grinder and people coming. Sometimes we meet in Target, and people are always going in and out of Target, by the cafe, and so there are some drawbacks, but the positives of being in the community far outweigh any of the disruptions or the distractions. Mm-hmm. So I think, in terms of, and we have so many just hugely wonderful stories about how the community is equally benefiting of the book club as the people in the facility. Everybody benefits. It's almost like,
Do you have any in particular that you'd like to share in terms of one of those stories?
Well, there's a guy in Louisiana, and he would meet at the cafe or whatever where our book club met, and he after a while he became kind of curious about what was going on, and he inquired, and so he started buying them drinks every week. And this has been going on for 4 years. And if he can't make it, he has his buddy. He's retired. He has his buddy come with money to buy the group drinks. And he's quoted as saying that at first he wanted to fix these people. And after a while, he realized they weren't broken.